Today, I'm joined by Andes Loukianos, who is basically working at Touchstone, but I'll let him introduce himself. Andes has been a long-term partner for Timextender. He has a ton of knowledge about the data space, and I'm super happy that I can have a quick chat with him and see if we identify some opportunities and trends in the data space. So welcome, Andes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you very much. Very pleased to be speaking to you this morning. Yes, as you say, I've been in the BI business for quite some time. In fact, been in the IT business at Touchstone. Oh, this is it's probably the 35th year that we've been in business, and over the last decade, I suppose, I've been involved in the BI practice at Touchstone, where we built up a very sound business for our customers around financial management solutions and procurement and CRM. But we found that there was a little bit of a gap. Our customers needed better reporting, better understanding of their businesses in terms of better insights. And we were happy to have come across Timextender back in our Microsoft days, because and as we knew the application pretty well, we thought this was ideal to take to our customers, where they had, whilst they had very sound line of business reporting solutions, where there were multiple data sources, they were struggling to combine those data sources in a consistent way with quality and integrity. And as we know, most organizations around that time would spend hours and hours and days and man years in Excel spreadsheets trying to combine all of this data together. And so that's really how we got involved with Timextender, and we liked it so much, we in fact wrote along with Timextender, the Sun Systems Adapter, which is our financial management solution. So we have spent a considerable time now with our customers trying to help them combine their various sources together to give them a much more rounded insight into their businesses, and it's proved really successful.
That's great. So just for our listeners, because they might or might not know about Touchstone, so where are you based? What kind of territory do you cover? I know you are based in the UK, but
yes, sorry, I mean probably from my accent, you could probably tell. Well, we're definitely English, and we're definitely in London.
Right. Perfect.
So although our customers are predominantly UK based, we do have some international footprint.
Okay.
So, and that's probably more as a result of our customers having offices out around the globe, particularly in some of our sectors. But having said that, our customers, as I was saying, traditionally, are UK mid-market type of organisations where they might have 3 or 4 line of business applications like finance, like procurement, like CRM, and they want to combine all those together. And that's where we've been, where our sweet spot has been really, where customers not quite sure where to start, might try to start their own data warehouse project, unable to document it, people moving on, and then they just resort back to spreadsheets. So we've been engaged with a lot of our mid-market customers, but obviously having built up a great wealth of knowledge and expertise in the team, we can really go to assist our customers, quite quickly in terms of bringing value to the project. But the point I was going to make was that actually, whilst that's really our sweet spot in the UK, it was really pleased that over the last 6 months or so, we've been able to win business for global corporations with Timextender, who appreciate the value, and we've been able to help them select Timextender, of course, and help them on their BI journey, as it were, right across their enterprise.
Fantastic. Music to my ears, honest, I have to say. The one thing that I would like to ask you is basically, of course, you have a wealth of knowledge in the team already. You have been in the data practice for a little while. But before that, so how did you end up actually in data, in the data business as a human, as yourself?
Right,
What was your career?
I was, a long time, maybe when you were in very short trousers, I was an accountant, and I worked for organisations like Reuters and Mercedes-Benz. And very early on, I realised that I wasn't really for formal accounting. It wasn't really my forte, but reporting was, and budgeting and forecasting was. And those organisations, really early days, didn't have any real idea how to put information together. So I found myself by default doing that, and I enjoyed that so much. I thought I'd rather be full-time in IT. So about 35 years ago, I moved into the IT business on the support side, and then on the consulting side, and then on the account management side, looking after our customers with their finance system, and reporting for them was always, can't get it out of the actual core application, let's dump it all out into Excel and build it up. It was actually, back in the day, it was things like SuperCalc, and I don't know if you've heard of Lotus 123. That's where we were. So that's how I entered really the sort of information world, and it really grew from there. And then I went into the IT business, and I found myself, one way that we've all, from a finance system and a lot of systems actually, that you sell systems is actually show customers and prospects the vision of what they can see in terms of information and data and reporting. So it wasn't so much, the functionality, how you process transactions, but it's actually what do I get at the end of it? Because at the end of it, you're selling to a chief executive or CFO that needs to see results and then base decisions upon them. Mm-hmm. So for a long time, my advice and my consulting around information was historic. In the finance world, you're looking backwards all the time. Yeah. So it was very clear to me that whilst it's very useful to have something in the past, we've also got to look what's going on in the future. So I got more involved in the corporate performance management arena, in a budgeting, forecasting, planning, and how we bring all of that together in terms of how we can predict and forecast where a business is going based on some real sound information and data that's been collated for previous periods. And that's really, and then whilst you're collating that from a finance perspective, in order to look further out afield for the business, you need to supplement that information or enrich that information with other information that's around the organization, where our customers are, who are our best customers, what are they purchasing most, what opportunities are they, how long are their projects, typically, and depending on the nature of your organization, it could be an energy customer, it could be a theatre company, it could be a media company. So all of that information feeds into one place that So that's really it was that my journey was finance led, but has moved much more into operational data management. Right. And the joke around the business for so long now is that if you cut me in half, it would say it's all about the data.
That's fair enough.
Yes, I'm very passionate about data, if I may say so. And so I've learned from experience that it's not about the flashy dashboards at the end of the day. It's really about the data, and that's why Timextender just fitted so neatly into our planning, our aspirations, and basically how we can help our customers deliver really good outcomes.
That's amazing. Thank you. So we just kind of launched a new way to communicate who we are at Timextender, and one of the things is that we are basically trying to highlight is that every company is now a data company, and I think you will agree with me. So on that basis, on the basis that digital transformation is that buzzword that everybody has to go through anyway, what are the trends that you are seeing in terms of the data space? What are the technologies that excite you the most within your realm of possibilities?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's very difficult to generalize where where the market is, where we're going, because you speak to customers who are at different stages of their BI journey. We have some customers who don't have a warehouse and and we need to educate them about the benefits of having all their data in one place, so they have one view, this 360-degree view of their organization, one version of the truth. All of those, that's all still valid, and there is quite a number of organizations who are still at that stage, but they all actually have the same end vision in terms of data insights, analytics, the power of data. They know there's no need to convince them anymore of the power of data. We need just to convince them how quickly we can get them to that place. But it's not just getting them some really nice, effective KPIs and dashboards. It's all of the governance now. So we're seeing quite a lot of requirements around. We know what we want. We know we've got this data. It comes from all over the place from the enterprise, but we need some way of cataloging it. We need some way of controlling it, so that when we grow, when we we acquire another business, or we bring new product sets, for example. I don't want to go through that whole process again. I just want a simple way in which, we've got a new set of products, it goes in, it feeds my repository, and then it's made available for self-service in what is more and more nowadays Power BI. So, and they all know that their data is increasing exponentially. So they know that they no longer can have a server in the corner of their office where they're doing all their reporting from. So they're all heading on this journey for cloud-based analytics. But they don't, some are, months away, some are years away.
Right.
From that point. So part of our, our practice now is not so much the plumbing, as I call it, which is the connecting of all the data sources together in Timextender. It's actually everything, and the data management and the discipline around that. So it's not such an onerous task every time, they acquire a new company, new product set, new people, different project types, new challenges. So, and then ultimately they want it in a cloud platform, and that in 99% of the cases is Azure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Azure, whether it's Azure DB or whatever platform, and as you know, Microsoft are full steam ahead in terms of the tool sets they're putting around it, in terms of data control, like Purview and Azure Data Factory and other utilities that they provide. So it's interesting. Yeah, if I went to each customer, they'd be on a different stage of their journey.
Yeah.
But it's so I would say whilst there's still the fundamentals, people know where they want to head now, and it's just how we help them on that cloud journey. And we've got to educate them around, you can't have everything. We don't just completely replicate every your whole ERP and CRM and procurement system. You've got to be selective. Otherwise it's going to be unmanageable.
Exactly.
So we help them understand that the implications of that, and how ultimately it gets presented out. Because ultimately it's got to be sitting on someone's desk, and someone does something with it. It's all very well us data guys talking about, it's all about the data, and we spend all this time talking to them, getting all the data ready, working with them on some smart with their internal BI teams that they're building up, which is a trend I'm seeing more and more. You're getting more and more people in organisations with BI or data in their job or in their job titles, because businesses understand that that's really, as they call it, the new gold. So it's really quite interesting.
Thank you, Andes. Right. So that was a fantastic overview of where you have been, who you are, and what the trends that you are seeing. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for your time. But I do have a last question, and this has nothing to do with data. It has nothing to do with anything that we have discussed, not even with Timextender.
Sure, I'd like an answer,
but I hope you do. So I like to ask this question to during this interview, and it's always the same question. So if you had all the money in the world, all the power in the world, all the technology in the world, what would you do?
Wow. I mean, apart from bring peace to the world and get rid of COVID. I mean,
that might as well happen.
I think fundamentally, you use it in some way to make a fairer society. That is really a fairer, happier, contented society, and get and hopefully get rid of quite some of the aggravation that exists in this world.
Thank you so much, Andes.
Yeah, well,
it's a tricky question.
Yes, that's quite a question.
Thank you so much, Andes.
Of course, I would play lots of golf and go on lots of holidays.
Yeah, well, you have to enjoy as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Andes. Thank you for your time. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we are off. Bye-bye.
Thank you.